What is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to do a quick update today. It's about the BMW 640D that I had. Obviously I quite recently bought the car, and as you can see from the title, the car was written off on Turo, the ride sharing platform. I guess some of you guys have probably heard of it, but yeah, essentially what happened is that the car got destroyed by someone who took the car out on rent. I've considered using it for some time. However, I finally took that step with the BMW, because at the time I was working from home and taking the tube to work. So I wasn't really using it as much as I thought I would. So yeah, I put it on there. It was sort of towards December time, so a few months or so ago now, and yeah, I got my first booking. So I thought, yeah, this is great. Obviously it was a decent amount of money. I was charging about 100 quid a day or something like that. Got the first booking, and yeah, so the guy came and picked the car up, and yeah, it was Christmas Eve that he picked it up, and he essentially told me that he's taking it to see some family. He was from Australia. They were heading up to Wales, and at the time there was a lot of flooding in the country. There was a lot of heavy rain, a lot of flooding, and yeah, he basically took it to Wales, and yeah, he drove it into a flood basically. So yeah, it came as a bit of a shock because I didn't have the car for very long. I remember on that day, it was sort of mid-afternoon, on the 24th of December, sort of mid-afternoon, and I got a message saying that, he's driven it into a flood, and it was like, what the hell is going on? Because I had a bit of a late night the night before, and I just took a nap for like an hour. And yeah, I basically woke up to this message saying my car has been driven into a flood, and it's had to be, taken out of the flood. Obviously I was glad the guy was all right, and his partner, that they were all good. But yeah, I was in a bit of shock, because I was like, what are the chances of this happening? Obviously it was the first time I used it, and I quite recently bought the car as well. I only had it about 4 months ish at the time. So obviously I was in a bit of shock, bit of panic. I was wondering, how is it going to sort of pan out with the insurance and paying out, etc. Because would it affect my insurance? Would they pay out? I've got obviously all this money tied up into it, and how is it going to pan out? So yeah, all those things were sort of running through my mind, and of course I wanted to get the car back, get it to BMW and get it checked as soon as possible. But it was Christmas Eve, right? So everything was closed essentially. The place where the car was recovered to was closed, right? It was closed for the next 4 days. So I couldn't really do anything. I had to sort of sit tight and just wait until they were back open. So once they were back open on Boxing Day or the day after, I gave them a call. I gave Turo a call just to find out, what the process is, how I can get the car, because I got the number for the compound or the place where the car was stored. And yeah, I spoke to them, and I tried to obviously arrange it to be collected and take it to BMW. But it was very difficult, because I couldn't do it with my AA breakdown. I couldn't just get the car, get it out of there. It had to be done through Turo, which was fine. But it became sort of a long-winded process, longer than expected, because the area was flooded. So the police wouldn't allow the recovery to go to the place to get the car. It was all sort of blocked off, and there wasn't access. So that took a couple of weeks, even 3 weeks, I think, just to, you know, get the car out of there. So obviously I was booking appointments at BMW to get the car in, but I had to cancel them, and we were just going back and forth. So it was a bit of a process. And yeah, at the same time, I'm obviously worrying about the payout, the insurance. Are they going to pay out? You know, how's this going to go down? So yeah, eventually I got the car to BMW, sitting at Tamworth, and they diagnosed the car. I'll add a little clip now of what the technician at Sitner said.
Good afternoon, just carrying out a vehicle health check on your car. What's in the workshop today? A few things like show range. Start on the rear of the vehicle, near side rear tyre range 6 and all the way across, that's fine. Offside rear range 5 and all the way across, that's fine. Also, rear brake pads around 4mm. Do device placement at 3. So device placement needs soon. Discs are worn. As you can see, the corrosion from the flood damage. Front of the vehicle, near side front tyre 4mm on the outer edge, 3 down the middle and 3 down the inner edge. Again, legal limit is 1.6 and we do device placement at 3mm, so device placing is tyre. There is some uneven wear to the inner edge also. Offside front tyre around 5mm all the way across, which is okay. Front brake pads around 9mm, so okay. Again, discs do show signs of wear and corrosion from the flood damage, so you should be aware of that. There is some under tray damage from the impact with the flood. And I can see some oil on the under trays, and just at the bottom of the sump, coating the covers. Just be aware of that. Have attempted to try and get the vehicle to run again, so I have managed to empty the cylinders of the water that had gone through the intake system and then rebuilt. However, the vehicle will still not start, so further time will be required to investigate as to what is stopping the vehicle from starting. A few other things will be needed as part of a repair. Also, there is water ingress within the vehicle. As you can see, the water building up on the windscreen. The passenger footwell carpets are soaking wet, and also there is no communication with the front passenger seat control module, which leads me to expect that this has actually got water within it, so the water has actually come to the point where the seat has got wet. So is that as well. All this will be put on the vehicle health check for yourself. Other than that, nothing else supporting your vehicle. Thank you for choosing to Tower of BMW. Have a good day.
Yeah, so as you can see, there was significant damage to the car. There was a lot of work that could potentially need to be done. Everything was wet, the brakes were messed up, the engine was sort of flooded or whatever. And yeah, there was a lot to sort of do. So the technician, yeah, the person that I was speaking to, so not the technician directly, but yeah, one of the customer service agents or whatever, she just told me that, you know, we need to do a compression test, which is sort of the next step up. There couldn't be any sort of definitive sort of diagnosis done with just basic diagnostics. So I had to get a compression test approved by Turo, which they did, which was good. So I went ahead and told BMW to go ahead with that. But then what happened is that the compression test couldn't be completed because the glow plugs and other areas were just damaged too much. So then what they said is that we need to strip the engine, which cost about £2,500. So then I was like to Turo, look, are you gonna, you know, cover this? Because I was like, you know, what's gonna happen now? Obviously it's a lot of money, right, to strip the engine, and then, you know, it could be a lot of work, and the car isn't worth that much really in the grand scheme of things. So I was thinking at this point, surely they're gonna write the car off. So yeah, that's what happened basically. Turo were good. Obviously it was a bit of a long-winded process, but they were good and they did cover everything. So the next step from here now was they passed me to a third party, which would then collect the car, take it to Copart, get it valued, and then, you know, get it sort of get it paid out. So the engineer went out to So they collected the car from Sitting Tamworth, took it to Copart, got the car valued, and then they paid me out essentially what I paid for the car. So that was good because I did pay a really good price for the car at 15,000, and it was worth a little bit more at the time. So I think it sort of balanced out. They paid me about 14,900, so I didn't miss out. I didn't lose out on much. They paid for the diagnosis, the compression test, and everything as well. So I didn't sort of lose out in any area. So that was really good, and yeah, it just was a big, sigh of relief because I was so worried that, is this gonna sort of be a big dent in my pocket? Would it affect my insurance? But Turo have their own insurance, so I didn't need to worry about that. So it was all sort of covered. So yeah, it was a really good experience, to be honest with you. So yeah, Turo were pretty good with how they operate. They covered me fully with everything, and yeah, the support was really good. As I said again, a lot of back and forth and a lot of worry at the time because I didn't know if I was going to get paid out, but I just went with the flow, and yeah, it was good, man. Turo is like a big company globally, so yeah, they were on point. They covered everything. I don't know if it's different if you're running it as a business, if you've got like more than 2 or more cars. If you're running it as a business, do you have the same protection? I don't know. I assume you do, but I'm not sure. But I just obviously had my one personal vehicle on there, and yeah, it was all good. They covered everything. So yeah, I definitely recommend Turo, and yeah, they were on point with their processes, and they paid out, so can't really complain. And it didn't affect my insurance, so that was really good. So I think that brings me on to my next point before I end the video, which is the car I'm driving now, which is an Audi A7 S-Line, a 2015 model. So very similar, or a direct comparison to the 6 Series, a sort of coupe-like sportback, as Audi call it, vehicle. So a very similar car. So yeah, it's essentially a direct comparison. So I think it's a good comparison sort of review video I will do next. I've had the car for about 3-4 days, driven it, got a feel of it, so I have a decent understanding of it, and it's an interesting package, to be honest with you, and it's different to the 6 Series in some sense. And yeah, I think that it would have been lovely to drive them back to back, but obviously we can't do that. But yeah, it'd be good to talk a little bit about this car. So yeah, I'll be doing that very soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you did enjoy the video. Do like, subscribe, comment with your thoughts, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.